Marketing your business is about to get a whole lot easier, faster, and more effective because in this full masterclass training, I'm gonna show you how to create a complete start to finish marketing funnel using ChatGPT. This is seriously gonna change everything, allowing you to do more in less time and without having to go broke hiring experts to do it for you. This all comes down to being able to use ChatGPT in the right way, using the exact right prompts and asking the best questions to get all the solid gold you need out of it, no matter your business or your marketing needs. Experts are calling this new skill prompt engineering, and it's the secret sauce of getting the most mileage out of ChatGPT. The businesses that ignore that part will quickly find themselves swimming in piles of mediocre marketing materials and getting zero business out of it. But the really smart entrepreneurs who get really good at knowing how to prompt the system will be unbeatable in their industries. So let's get good at the art of prompt engineering. We'll be using some really smart prompts to help us create all of our content across every major marketing category, and we're gonna be going in the right order so that we can build on our momentum as we go. So let's start out with content marketing first. It's my personal favorite marketing category because it's the one that helped me build my business the most. Ultimately, it's all about positioning you as the expert in your field through, blog articles or YouTube videos or even podcasts. The problem is, it's always been really time consuming coming up with all that content, especially when it's not your full-time job to create it. But here's how ChatGPT can help. Where most people go wrong here is they just ask it to write a whole blog post out of nothing. Like, write a blog post about why you should hire a professional house cleaner, and what it's gonna give you is pretty basic and pretty short. Nobody would wanna read an article like this, and they certainly wouldn't get anything out of it, which means you wouldn't get anything out of it either. No Google rankings, no winning over the hearts of your prospects. It's pretty much just a waste. So we actually need to tackle this in 3 simple steps. Okay, so first things first, go ahead and download my free starter kit, which is gonna have all of these prompts across all these marketing categories, so you don't really have to take notes now, you'll just have it all written down. That's wesmcdowell.com/chatgpt. So I said we were gonna do this in 3 steps. The first step is actually just to brainstorm topics. So here's how we would do that. We're just at chat.openai.com, and I'm just gonna type in here, give me 20 unique article titles related to, let's say, childcare. If you're maybe you run a daycare center, but this goes for absolutely any kind of niche. So I'm just using this as an example related to childcare in a clickbait style. So let's see what it gives us. So see what they're generating here. These are all very intriguing and very clickable. That's why we asked for that, quote, clickbait style. It's not about being misleading. It's just about, let's come up with really intriguing titles that are gonna get people actually excited enough to want to watch. And I should also say, we asked for article titles, but maybe you're going to be doing podcasts, maybe you're going to be doing videos. It's really the same thing, but then you would just swap out, just say 20 video titles or 20 podcast titles, but it's pretty much going to give you the same thing regardless. So then we're just gonna read through these. You'd go through them one by one and say, okay, this one sounds good, I'm gonna put it in a spreadsheet, or maybe this one doesn't really hit the mark, it's not something I would talk about, it doesn't really go along with my business. So you're just gonna go one by one, transfer the ones you like over to a spreadsheet to keep track of them. And we only asked for 20 here, but there's nothing that says you can't ask for 100 or 200 of these, and then really get a good list going that you can use well into the future. So from here on out, you're just gonna pick individual titles, and then we're gonna go through the rest of the steps. So the next step is actually to create an outline for one of these topics. Let's just go ahead and take number 6 here, the incredible sleeping trick that'll transform your child's nighttime routine. I'm gonna copy that. So now I'm gonna type in, okay, so I've just said now create an outline for an article, and I gave the title of the article, and I said write it as a professional childcare expert and write it for young moms. This is important to do. This is where a lot of people fall short when they're using ChatGPT. They don't give ChatGPT a point of view in order to, here's where you're coming at it from, and here's who you're writing it for. If you don't do that, it's gonna come across very much like a term paper, just kind of from like an omnipresent view. So you really wanna make sure it has that level of expert authority to it. So I'm going to go ahead and see what it comes back with. So again, all we're doing right now is coming up with the outline. It's not writing the entire article yet. And when it comes back with this outline, one of the things you can do is now is a good time to spot anything that you don't feel like belongs in the article, or anything you might do a different way, or any section you would just want to take out of it. And then you just ask for those requests at this stage once it's done spitting this out. Okay, so it wrote the whole outline now. So let's just see if there's anything that maybe we wouldn't want to include. You know, maybe this section 2 is just, it doesn't really get to the good stuff quick enough. You know, you could definitely make that request here, or you could say replace it with something else. Maybe you have some expertise that you'd want to put in here. All you really need to do is speak to it like you're talking to a real person, a real copywriter. ChatGPT will understand your request. So let's just go ahead and pretend everything is good to go as is. Now we're actually going to get going on writing the article. So I'm going to type in. Okay, so I've written, now write the article, and here's where you'll tell it how to write it, okay? This is where another area where a lot of people miss, and they don't actually ask for it to be done in a specific tone, and that's again how it can come across very much like a term paper or just kind of an academic piece of writing, which is not what we want. We want it to be engaging, right? So I've said here, casual, friendly tone. You can also say humorous tone. You can even give it a famous person's voice, like write it in the style of Oprah or in the style of Alex Hormozy. And they have enough stuff online that ChatGPT can do a good job kind of mimicking that overall tone and style. So, but for here, casual, friendly, I think is good. And I've also said, insert personal anecdotes or stories if they help illustrate a point. Again, very important to keep these, to keep your content feeling human, and the way we do that is through anecdotes, it's through experiences, it's through stories. Now, the stories that this comes up with may give you a good jumping off point, and what I generally like to do is kind of replace the little stories that they come up with something similar from your experience, just to kind of really pull it into you. But they may be good to go as is. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. But you'll notice I said start with the introduction. What we're not going to tell it to do is just write the entire article. It doesn't do really well when you have it do that. It ends up being very short and very just super basic when you do it that way. So we're going to start with the introduction. Okay, so I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but you'll notice here, I might get rid of like where it says, hey there, fellow moms. Like, I don't think any article really needs to start that way. It's an easy thing to delete. So we all know how vital a good night's sleep is for our little ones. It's essential for their growth, development, and overall well-being. But let's be honest, sometimes bedtime can feel like a battlefield with a mix of tantrums, tears, and endless requests for just one more story or a glass of water. I think that's extremely well written, and it feels like a real person wrote that, right? And then we've got an experience here. You know, it said, I've tried and tested various sleep strategies over the years. Some were successful while others fell short, but this is by far the most effective method I've ever encountered. So that's where it feels like she's telling a story of something that's really worked for her. So I think it's right on the money so far. So here's what you do from here. Then you would say, now write section 2, and you're just gonna go section by section, and you're just gonna copy and paste everything into a Google Doc or a Word doc. And then by the end of it, you'll have your full article. What you're gonna wanna do is just basically fix any factual errors that you can see, add in your own stories and anecdotes like we talked about, just really personalize it to make it feel like it came from you and your brand. So now let's move on to social media marketing. So this is one that can be especially daunting because you may feel a lot of pressure to create lots of content for social, but again, ChatGPT is a great tool to help you come up with the ideas and execute on them. And of course, there are a ton of types of social content you could go with, from Instagram image posts to tweets. But what I want to focus on for now is probably the best single social media opportunity that you have right now, and that is short form videos that you can run on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, and even on Pinterest and LinkedIn. So here's the process. Okay, so just like with content marketing, what we're gonna start with here is the brainstorming process. So let's say you are a wedding photographer, and I would type in something like, help me brainstorm. I'm actually not gonna do 100 right now because it's gonna take too long, but you can ask for 100. I'm gonna say, help me brainstorm 10 topics for Instagram Reels. You could also say, you know, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, whatever, I can make for my wedding photography business. They need to speak to brides in the process of planning their wedding. So again, you're giving the context of this is for my fill in the blank business, and these need to speak to this target demographic. It's gonna help it way better, hit the nail on the head a lot faster. So let's go ahead and see what 10 it comes back with. Okay, so it gave us 10 really good choices here. So again, you're gonna do the same thing. And I would highly recommend you ask for more like 100. So you can go through, put all the winners into a spreadsheet just so you have a ton to draw from. And then you're gonna go one by one. You're just gonna have it write all of these scripts one by one. So I'll just have it start with this one right here, how to create a wedding day timeline for perfect photos. Okay, so I just said write a 15 to 30 second script for how to create a wedding day timeline for perfect photos. Here's the important part, with no intro or outro, just get right into it, because otherwise it's gonna do the whole thing where it's like, hey guys, welcome to this video, and you don't want that in these short videos. You just wanna get right to the point. So again, all you gotta do is ask for that. Just get right into it and prioritize unique, actionable tips. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna make the tips ideally much more interesting and unique, not just the big things that everybody talks about. You wanna make it unique, right? And then I said write it in a high energy, fun, casual tone. You can tweak that language however you want, but I think generally speaking for short form videos, high energy, fun, and casual is the way to go. So let's just see what this comes back with. Oh, and the other thing there too is what you might want to do is put in anything that you know personally. Like if you've got your own tips, I'm sure whatever topic you're going to write about, you're going to have your own ideas. Say, and be sure to include this, or be sure to add these 3 tips, and then it'll incorporate all of that. Okay, so this has done an interesting thing. It's added emojis, which you definitely don't need for a script. They're not gonna show you. You can't like talk it out. So, but I would still just copy and paste this into your Word doc. Just get rid of the emojis if they're included there, and I would get rid of the "Hey there, beautiful brides to be." Again, you just want to get right into it, but at first glance, it looks pretty good. And you would just put in your next topic, and I might actually say here, but no emojis. That's one of those things you can do. You can just kind of talk to it and just dial in anything in. If there's something it's doing you don't want it to do, just say, hey, don't do that this time, and then it'll get you a little bit closer. So in this use case, we use this to do those short form video scripts. This could have just as easily been tweets, post captions, anything. Just ask it for exactly what you want in the tone you want, and include any specifics you want to make sure that it includes, and ChatGPT will handle the rest. Next, let's talk about how ChatGPT can help you with email marketing. So I make these YouTube videos here every week, and then I email my list about them. That helps me stay top of mind for them when it comes time for me to actually promote my paid program. And I really struggled with using AI to help me with those emails at first. They just came out super generic, and I'd pretty much just have to rewrite the whole thing. But I'm persistent, and I finally figured out a system that works pretty much every time. And for email marketing to work best, you really need to use a 2-prong approach. Gary Vee calls it the jab, 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 right hook method, where you send out at least 3 helpful, value-packed emails. Then and only then do you send out one that's more promotional, asking for a direct sale. So for the jab emails, we're gonna use what you've already got, the content you created with the help of ChatGPT. So whether we're talking articles, videos, or podcasts, your only job here is just to let your lists know that you created this super helpful thing, and here's why they wanna read, watch, or listen to it. Okay, so let's say you're a moving company now, and you wrote an article helping families moving with their pets. So now your challenge is just to get people to want to read that article or watch that video. So what I would type in here is something like, why would a pet owner about to go through a move want to watch a video about moving with pets, how to keep your furry friends safe and happy during the move? This is an important first step. So we're just gonna come and see, we're gonna see what it comes back to us with. Because we want to really be able to capture what about this piece of content is going to intrigue people, because we're gonna use that as basically incentive to get people to actually watch it. Okay, so it's given us all these reasons why a video like this would be helpful. Now we're going to go to the next step, which is to say, take that and write an email to families about to move, letting them know I made this video and why they should watch it. Make it short, to the point, and fun, personable in tone. So we could also say, you know, in Alex Hormozy's voice or Oprah's style, and don't give everything away. This is important. Build intrigue so people want to see what it's all about. Notice what I did there, because otherwise what it'll do is it'll say, here's why you want to watch this video. It's going to tell you this, 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 and this. You don't want it to do that. You want to build up that intrigue and curiosity so people actually have to read your article, watch your video. Remember, the email's only job, it's not to give them the help that your content gives them. Its only purpose is to get them to consume that content. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this. And then let's see what it comes back with for the final email. Okay, so first glance at this, it looks pretty great. So it's even given us a subject line, which, you know, you may want to choose to iterate on that. We can talk about that in a minute. But we have, hi there, fellow pet loving families. Are you gearing up for a big move? I've created this video. Here's the good part. Why should you watch it? Here's a little sneak peek. It has given nothing away, right? It's literally just, it's building curiosity, expert tips and tricks, stress busting strategies, right? People will read that and they'll be like, okay, I need to know what those strategies are now. Travel prep secrets. So it's not giving any bit of this away. Now, again, you may want to do a little bit of a light rewrite to it, adding in your own personal anecdotes or stories. One more thing we can do here is actually say, great, now give me 10 intriguing subject lines. So you don't have to take the one that it gave you, because subject lines are really important. If it's not good, no one's ever even going to open it. So I definitely recommend taking this extra step. And I love that it's adding emojis here. This is a good place for emojis in a subject line. And already, these are looking great. The top secret guide for moving with pets revealed. Don't pack your bags without these pet-friendly moving hacks. The ultimate checklist for moving with pets, don't miss out. These are great. So as you can see, it's really gonna be your best friend when it comes to email marketing for sure. So that's how you'd write your jab emails, but what about the right hook? After you've let them know about your helpful content, now it's time to let them know that if they want to go deeper and get even more help, they can get it by working with you or buying what you're selling them. So here's how to prompt ChatGPT to help you get the most out of those emails. Okay, so this one's pretty straightforward. I've got kind of a long prompt here, and I'll walk you through it and why I'm saying everything I'm saying here. So we say, pretend you're an expert marketing copywriter specializing in writing persuasive emails. It's incredibly helpful and a really big ChatGPT hack to tell it who it's supposed to be, right? In this case, you're an expert marketing copywriter. It's gonna take that and it's gonna run with it. Using the PAS copywriting framework, which stands for Problem, Agitate, Solution, it's a really good framework for these kinds of sales emails where you bring up the problem someone has, you kind of agitate it with symptoms of the problem, then you bring in your solution. So that's why I've included that here. Write a sales email to families who are about to move and considering which moving company they want to choose. Obviously, you'd fill in the blanks for your own business and you know what they're going through, the problem they have. And then we can't wait to speak to them and help them decide if we're the best fit for their move. And you know, and now we're going to get into a few things that we bring to the table, right? That we would want to include here: competitive pricing, white glove packing service, best non-breakage guarantee in the business. So here's where you'd bring in your 3 best benefits, essentially. Make it friendly and helpful in tone, not too salesy, that's important. You want the overall tone of this email to not feel super salesy. You want it to feel like you're still helping them, but you can really help them when they pay you and they take you up on your offer. That's the general tone here. Use power words. There's certain words that are out there that are just known to really pique people's interest, and avoid overused cliches. Super important. If you use cliches that people have heard a million times, it falls on deaf ears and they don't even register it. So that's why we've said that. Then you want to specify what your call to action is. In this case, it's to schedule a free consultation and to get a quote. So this is everything we've got here, and I'm going to go ahead and let it do its thing. We've got a subject line again. And again, we can go back and iterate on that and have it generate 10 new subject lines if you'd rather. Okay, are you feeling overwhelmed as you're about to move your family to a new home? You're not alone. Moving can be one of the most stressful events in life, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so what it's doing here, unfortunately, is remember how I said the PAS, problem, agitate, solution? It's actually like calling that out. We don't want that. We would delete those lines. We would just kind of let the story tell itself. We don't need to call out, this is the problem. This is me agitating the problem. People will get it just as they read the email itself. Okay, so then when it's done, once again, you're just gonna put it into a Google Doc. You're gonna do a light rewrite of it, adding in your own little expertise, just kind of pepper it in with your own experience, and you should be good to go. And of course, the point of all this marketing content, whether it's your long form content like articles or your social media posts and your emails, are all funneling people back to your website where you can really sell your value. And of course, you need the right marketing message there to help you do that. And I've got all the best prompts you'll need to write a killer website, or at least improve what you have to connect to more people and help them become paying customers faster. So click this video right here for those prompts and my step-by-step walkthrough so you can get your whole website written in an afternoon so it can convert like crazy. So click here and I'll see you there.